What's up, YouTube? We're back. Holy cow, it's been a minute. That was a lot of, nostalgia saying that and not being like at a ride out or something to be like sitting here. That was weird. I'm sure that it's also weird for you guys that I'm posting a video sitting in my room instead of like on a flight to Tulsa, that's probably a little bit weird for you guys too. I know it's weird for me. I am staying home. Obviously, I don't even have a membership right now, which is weird to think about because I've always had a membership and I've always been able to just get on the track whenever I wanted to. But, things are different. Life happens, things happen. School's been crazy. Anyway, so we're back, and with it being Grands and a lot of you guys going there, and it just being the end of the year, end of the season, this is when a lot of brands are opening up their sponsorships and opening their collaborations and all of that good stuff. So, as I'm sure you guys saw, today's video is going to be all about negotiating, selling yourself to brands, and all of that because for those of you who are at Grands, take advantage of that. This is when the best of the best writers are all there, all coming together. To make a main event at Grands is a huge deal. To podium at Grands is an even bigger deal. Maybe you're going for Rock 1 to win Grands, you're up for a plate, whatever the case may be. Maybe you're just showing up for the first time. Making face with these brands and really trying to sell yourself to these brands when majority of the owners are there, when majority of your teammates or soon to be teammates are there, all of that. Grands is such an important place to be. Okay, so with that being said, today's video we're going to be talking all about how to really get yourself out there to sell yourself to these brands and to see if a sponsorship is even what you're looking for, if you just want to stay low key and stay a privateer. So let's get to it. All right, first and foremost here, let's start off with why negotiating matters. Okay, it's important that you remember exactly what it is that you're looking for, and remember that not each brand can be held to the same standard. The size of the brand, the length of time that the brand has been around for, maybe exactly what they're offering, their budget, things like that will all vary from brand to brand. So it's important that you keep that in mind if that's something that you are going after and that you are trying to approach and come in with, because if you have all of these different demands, they might just not have the means to meet that. And you could be an amazing writer, it doesn't matter. You can be an amazing person in general. They just couldn't have the means to support you sometimes. So you need to remember that when going into a negotiation and understanding that, okay, this is a place where we're going to find a common ground to make something work, or we're not. Those are the only two options that generally happen with negotiations. So it's important that you remember that first and foremost. Second, now that you have that frame of reference, you want to go into it defining your goals and knowing exactly what it is that you're looking for, which we have a video up already explaining the difference between your long-term and short-term goals and how to really define that and get into that. So if you haven't seen the video, make sure to go watch it. And yes, that is a personal shout out to myself. Go watch that video if you guys haven't already. I'll try and link it somewhere in here. Anyways, though, with that, defining your short and long term goals, you have to look at how these different brands are going to benefit you. Are you just trying to get this brand because they're the next best thing and because they're all this hype and this, that, and another, but they're not doing anything for you? Or are you going after this brand because they can maybe support you with a bike, traveling costs, entry fees, whatever the case may be? You have to really define right off the bat, how is this brand going to help me, and is it even worth it with me pursuing this brand? And if I do want to pursue it and it's just because of the fact that the next best thing is on it and this, that, and another, then you need to be okay with the fact that you're probably not going to get a huge return on it. So those are things to keep in mind. And honestly, this is the number one thing that I try and tell everyone before they make a big decision is, how is this going to benefit you short term and how is it going to benefit you long term? Because if it can't do both in some type of way and there's no payout on either, that is not the brand deal for you. I'm telling you right now, it may seem great, but everything is a trend. So just because this team is trending and this is exactly what you think you need to be going after, take a step back and think about it for a second, because chances are you're going to hop on this team and it's the next best thing, and then lo and behold, 6 months later, the next best thing comes out and everyone goes and raves to that. So it's important that you set yourself up short term and long term, even if it means that you're sacrificing the right now fun and enjoyment of everything. So keep that in mind. Next, now that we have the reason why negotiating matters, why it is important to define your goals, let's talk about how you're going to present yourself with a purpose. These brands don't want someone coming up to them who are cocky, who are arrogant, who are just over the top, just look at what I can do. Look at what I can do. I'm District 1, I'm State 1, I'm Gold Cup 1. They don't care. I'm just telling you right now. They want someone who's authentic. They want someone who can represent the brand in an upbeat way. Okay, that's something that the whole Davis team does really well. And shout out to Davis, that's the fam right there. They do an amazing job at keeping the pits upbeat, fun, making sure their riders are all taken care of. I cannot tell you the amount of times that DJ had called me as he was like on the way to the supermarket. Hey, do you need anything from the supermarket? I'm getting everything for the pits. Or go ask like Cash or Roxanne or whoever else was on the team at the time to go and make sure that, is everything good? Does AJ have everything he needs? Is everyone taken care of? So it's important like that because you need to have those relationships with the boss and you need to be able to have that authentic personality. At the end of the day, the team is meant to become your family. They're meant to be accepting of you and they're meant to be there for you. So it's important that you always are authentic, you're upbeat, you're energetic, and majority of the time team owners have dealt with enough kids to where they're going to see that there's just layers that maybe need to be peeled back if you're shy at first. But if you come in being arrogant and all of this stuff, they're going to want nothing to do with you right off the bat. Okay, they'd rather have a shy kid than have an arrogant little jerk. Okay, I'm telling you that right now. So you need to go in and you need to have a clear execution of what you're going to bring to the table for that team, what they can do for you, and on top of that, you need to be able to explain yourself clearly. You need to be able to come in and be calm and confident and collected. Say, hi, I'm Kylie Martin. I really enjoy your brand. If maybe you're riding something that's part of the brand, like if I was going for Davis, I would say, hey, I ride your gear. I love it a lot. I constantly post in it. I tag you guys. I've really been recommending it to everyone else. These are my accomplishments. Cool. A lot of the times, if you go up to these brands in person, they're going to say, shoot over your resume, which we're going to get into soon on talking about how to put together a resume and how to really lay out all of your goals and aspirations, your accomplishments, things like that. We're going to get into that in a separate video because that's a lot to do. But those are just important things off the top of my head that you should do when presenting yourself to a brand or a company, since at Grants everyone's there. It's kind of a big deal. But anyways, that just kind of polishes off the surface on how to present yourself to these brands. Okay, now moving on to something that a lot of people find a little bit hard. It's knowing when to walk away, okay? So a lot of the times after you go and you present yourself to these brands, they're either going to look like they're interested, maybe they're kind of like whatever about you, or they're disinterested. They're going to have one of those three reactions. So with that, if maybe they're disinterested, then you need to take the hint and you need to walk away. You don't want to sell yourself short just for the sake of being on the team and being involved in this partnership. It's one of those things where if they don't see your value, another sponsor will. You just need to be patient and you need to trust the process. Because again, I would have much rather put myself in positions where, I was patient and just waited for the right opportunity to come along than rushing into something just for the sake of saying, oh yeah, I'm sponsored, or oh yeah, I'm collabing with this person, or oh yeah, I'm doing this partnership this week. Because at the end of the day, you'll end up closing more doors trying to rush through one than if you would have just waited and seen what all of the potential opportunities were, especially after Grands, because maybe you go and you make these approaches at the start of the week when it's still practice days, but then you go and you win Rock 1, you win Grands, whatever the case is, and you end up making a name for yourself that weekend, you're going to have these other eyes looking at you and on you. But if you're so focused on exactly what one brand that you want, chances are you're not even going to see these other brands or even take into consideration what they have to offer, when it could be handed to you on that silver platter that you've been waiting for and longing for. So it's important that you always have your eyes all open and know when to walk away, and know that to yourself, it does not make you a worser rider, a worser athlete by declining a sponsorship brand because they sold you something shorter of what it was. And with that being said, though, it's important to not be cocky to the point where it's, well, no, they didn't meet all of these things, so I'm not going to do it, because that's not negotiating. Negotiating is you give the offer, they can give you another offer back, or they can accept that offer. If they give you another offer back and there's a couple tweaks that you want to be made, it's important to sit there and talk about it. And even if it leaves room in your contract to where, I really want this to happen, but I'm okay if it doesn't happen right now. It can happen a little bit later, but I do want to revisit this conversation. You make that clear off the bat, and if they're automatically saying no, take it as a no and walk. That's one of the requirements that you need to be met. Otherwise, if it's something that could be revisited to benefit your long-term goals, then revisit it when the time comes. But you don't need to have these things overnight if it's not necessary. So it's important that you really lay out all of those things and take all of that into consideration. So overall, key points of the video: negotiating is essential. It's always important to know when to walk away so that you don't sell yourself short. and trust the process. Okay, those are the 3 essential points that I can give you from today's video. I'm wishing you guys all nothing but the best in your negotiation journeys, and for all of you guys racing grands this weekend, the best of luck. I know you guys are going to kill it. I'm going to be supporting from home. If you guys have any questions, I am still a racer. I still have that in me, okay? So if you guys need help with anything, whether it's lines, gate selections, anything like that, please, please, please feel free to message me. Always feel free to reach out for any type of advice. For anything with mentals, I do have a couple videos up already on how to handle some stress, and I'm going to have some more videos coming out soon that will kind of pertain to Grand. So depending how quick I drop, you guys may get the answers that you need in the videos. So keep your eyes peeled, and thank you guys all for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Oh, I should probably testing. This is like take 3. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Okay, let's do this thing. Game face. Ready. You know, fun fact, I hate my hands. Like, I don't mind the way they look, but they're just like tentacles. Ooh, the hair. Low-key looking like a lion, but that's okay. Okay, I got all the jitters out. I just said everything stupid that I could say in the span of like 30 seconds. Oh. I'm ready. If it's not how I think it should look, then I just don't post it. So that's great. Love that. Not stupid. We don't talk down on ourselves. I just sounded very confused and unintelligent. We'll go with that. That's better than stupid. I forgot how hard that it is to like sit here and really just like talk. You know? Anyway, sitting here trying to actually like say everything, I'm like, what do I do? Like, she doesn't even go here. Oh my god, they're gonna hear the fact that I had a voice crack. No. Maybe this video just won't ever get posted because your girl's family.